So let's ask the big question first. Are DissociaDID and TeamPinata faking? Probably not. Hey, what's crack? It's VangelinaSkov. I am obviously thoroughly invested in this world and these people and this story and everything. So you're getting another video kind of related today. After the Anthony Padilla episode about dissociative identity disorder that featured DissociaDID, their channel got a lot of traction and new people looking at it. This grew even more after Trisha Paytas' whole thing with her having DID and then them fighting with each other, whole big mess. You already know about this. Oh, my nose is so itchy. I feel like I have to sneeze. I can't sneeze though. Not now. Anyway, after that, a lot of people were looking at them and TeamPinata as well. And as you would expect, a lot of people were talking about how they are faking their disorder. Obviously, this is nothing new. But there's a fly and my cat wants to kill it. Please, please, Stradivarius. No, no, no. She scratched me. This was obviously nothing new, but there was a lot of eyes on them now, a lot more than there had been before. And obviously more and more people were trying to dig up information on them and discredit them and their disorder. Just a couple of things to say before I get into the rest of the video. I had a few people commenting that they were hard of hearing and it was the auto caption, so they couldn't read what was going on properly. Just a note on that is that I've suddenly got a lot of views, so I used to get, the same people watching my videos, which is about 10 to 30 people, and I've never actually had to do captions before. So I'm working on figuring out how to do that. I have no clue, and I thought for the video I did yesterday, I tried to add captions. I went and I was like, add captions naively, and so it said like I had to upload a file, and I had never seen that file extension in my life, so I'm very confused. So I'm gonna look into that. I'm gonna try and get captions done for all of my videos, or as many videos as possible. Although doing captions every single day is probably going to be really difficult. So if anybody wants to actually help me out with that, I'd really, really appreciate that. That would really help, because help. And another person who is also hard of hearing said that, I wasn't aware of this actually, that I don't move my mouth when I speak, which is why I'm moving it a lot now. I can't tell if this is actually a lot or if this is how normal human beings talk, but I'm trying to move my mouth more so it's more understandable, and I'm trying to talk a bit louder too. So hopefully this is working. So in case I can't get the captions done for this video, at least my mouth's moving more. I don't know if that helps, but I'm trying. So let's ask the big question first. Are DissociaDID and TeamPinata faking? Probably not, and even if they were, we would have no way to know that. Unless you are their doctor or their therapist, you have absolutely no way of knowing that, and you shouldn't be trying to guess either. And this doesn't just go for them, this goes for everybody who claims to have any mental disorder. You have absolutely no way to tell whether they're telling the truth or not. And if they say that they have it, it is in everybody's best interest to just take that at face value. Talking like this is making me realize how big my teeth are. They're really big teeth. They're nice teeth, I guess. But let's actually take a look at why people think that they are faking their disorder. A little while ago when I was doing research for my other videos, I stumbled upon KiwiFarms. They are a website that has forums, a forum website if you will, I could have just said that, but they have a forum dedicated to, or a thread dedicated to, DissociaDID and TeamPinata and how they're faking and they're manipulating people and blah blah blah. All this stuff. You get the gist of what's going on there. So why do they think that they're faking? The number one reason is because a lot of the people in that forum do not believe that dissociative identity disorder is a real disorder. They think that it's completely made up. Now I'm going to do a little bit of a disclaimer here because I feel like I should, and I should have done it in the last video as well. I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a doctor, a psychiatrist, anything like that. I am just somebody who does a lot of research in their free time, has done for years, and has been in therapy a lot. So you don't need to believe that everything I say is fact. I'm doing my best to relay what I know to be facts, but there is a chance that I could be wrong. And if I am, you can correct me in the comments as well. And that helps people to see those comments and see where I might have messed up. To my knowledge, there is a lot of evidence that dissociative identity disorder does exist. And a lot of psychologists and doctors have said that yes, this is a real disorder. And of course, there are differing opinions, and there have been studies done to try and disprove it too, but the consensus seems to be that it does exist. You may have seen a lot of research trying to disprove dissociative identity disorder, and I want to explain a little bit about why that would be, why doctors and scientists would be trying to disprove a disorder. Because surely, if they're trying to disprove it, it might not exist, right? Well, the thing is, in science, in any science, when you're trying to prove something, you are also trying to disprove it. You cannot say that something exists or something is fact without first trying to disprove it. You have to go through every possible scenario, every situation, every little thing that you can think of to either prove your theory or disprove your theory. That is how science goes from theory to fact. Now, what happens is that a lot of people, especially in these forums like in KiwiFarms, see these studies or these articles even, I'm not sure if they read actual studies, but articles saying why dissociative identity disorder might not exist. And then they choose to ignore all the evidence that says that it does. Now, I'm not sure how far people in this forum's research actually went. I haven't seen a lot of scientific talk in there. It's mostly just kind of more gossipy stuff and digging up information and that sort of thing. So naturally, they believe that DissociaDID and TeamPinata are faking, along with all the other DID YouTubers. Now, these aren't the only people there. There are actually people in the forum who do believe that dissociative identity disorder is real. And it's not that hard to find them as well. There's quite a few of them in there. But those people still think that DissociaDID and TeamPinata are faking. Now, they give various reasons for why that is. The number one thing that I've seen is that they say, specifically for Nin from DissociaDID, who they often just call Chloe, which I think is quite rude, they say that her story doesn't line up, that she gets facts wrong about her own life, that she changes her story. One of the biggest things that they seem to come back to is her trigger warning attempt on her life that she made, I think, in 2017. This was a big deal at the time, and people in her community knew about it and her friends. She's made a video about it. I'm not going to go into the details of what she did though. And somebody there shared screenshots of a big group chat that he was apparently in with Nin, or with Chloe at the time. And this was from the day after that incident. Everybody had been talking about, did you hear the police were looking for somebody yesterday? And who is apparently Chloe chimed in and said, lol, that was me, or something like that. Their way of verifying these receipts was by having the person who posted them contact a mod, and the mod confirmed. For me, that's not good enough. I need to see the proof. But you can take from that what you will. Even if it is true, I don't see why that would discredit them. I think a lot of people deal with difficult times with humor. And for all we know, that wasn't even Chloe texting in that group chat, if there was a group chat in the first place. That could have been any of the authors who were just trying to make light of the situation. Nobody knows. We don't know. And we need to stop pretending that we know based on half evidence. At least I think so, anyway. As for the rest of her story, they tend to make sort of hazy claims that she changes things like the date that something happened, or she said she was friends with this person, but that person says they're not friends with them, or just very vague things with not a lot of detail. And here's what I'm going to say to that. Probably sometimes she did mess up her story. She did get her timelines wrong. She did confuse sections of what had happened to her in her life. I personally have trouble remembering facts about my own life. I get things wrong about my life that I went through all the time. I mess up the date, I mess up a name, I mess up an event, and I can't imagine how much harder that would be if you have DID. That's a disorder that involves a lot of amnesia and disassociation, which can make it harder to remember things that you don't even have amnesia around, you just can't remember it properly. So why are we not taking into account the fact that they do have these symptoms from this disorder, which could make it hard to remember every single detail of their life? And tell me something as well, in all honesty. If I told you to recite your life story for me right now, could you get all the facts right? Probably not. Another thing to note on the side of not getting your story straight is that in a normal, healthy, functioning brain, a certain percentage of your memories are not real. They did not happen. This happens because your brain makes weird connections sometimes. It can be easily influenced by other people's stories or outside forces, I guess, if you want to call it that. So a lot of the memories that you have in your brain didn't actually happen, or didn't happen the way that you remember them. So sometimes you're gonna get your facts wrong. Then there are also a lot of other reasons they give as to why they think DissociaDID and TeamPinata are faking. And these range from their switches are too dramatic, their alters are weird, and why does Kyle only have an accent but Nina doesn't have an accent? To which I say, every person with DID is completely different. Their alters are different, their reasons for having DID are different, their switches are different. You can't go, okay, why does this person have an alter that's a fairy? That's ridiculous. They're faking. For more information on that, I'm going to link down in the description a video I watched the other day from the entropy system, kind of pointing out some of these things, ridiculous ideas as why people might be faking DID. So just watch that, it was really informative and I think it was really good. So to sum it all up, why do people think that DissociaDID and TeamPinata are faking their disorders? Because people are going to question everything. And they're going to point the finger at people. And they're going to assume that people are lying. That's just the way that it works. And when you have a bigger following, there are more people telling you that you're making stuff up. It's a really harsh reality, but it's true. But I think that's the exact kind of stigma that I know at least DissociaDID were trying to break. One last note as well, it is good to question things. It's not good to find one piece of the story that you think is the best and find all the information that you can to fit that narrative. So question things, but be open-minded. On a little closing note, my channel is growing really fast. I said thank you yesterday for 1,000 subscribers and now it's at like 1,700 or something like that. And it's looking like it will actually hit 2,000, which is kind of crazy. I don't really want to guess whether it's going to hit 2,000 or not, just in case it doesn't, because, you know, it might just stop right now. But I wanted to do like a little Q&A thing, if that's interesting enough. I hope it is. Just to kind of say thank you and so you guys can get to know me better, all the new people and the old people too. So if you have any questions for me, you can leave them in the comments. Otherwise you can, you know, DM me on Instagram or Twitter or anything. And I'll also be asking in my Discord server as well. So if you have any questions for me, leave them below. I'm sorry for the noise. I was doing this. It's like I don't even care about audio. Anyway guys, that's going to be it from me for now. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye.